Welcome back, everybody. We are checking in with the Grasslands Conservation Council, and we have Rabea joining us. We have Mike, of course, back with us again. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. We wanted to talk about a few different things, including a fundraiser, which I'll get you to talk about in just a few moments, Mike. But I'll start with you, Rabea, because we haven't had you on the show before. It's usually just Mike that's joining us, so we appreciate you being here today.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So I know that you guys are coming off of a big event that happened at TRU. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, last month we had kind of a micro conference style gathering at TRU with collaboration with TRU Wildlife Club, and different other student clubs were engaged too. It was a great event. Starting with because we had like 85 in-person people and then 67 people online joining in, and it kind of involved like 5 guest speakers talking about kind of global BC grasslands and then local grassland and accessibility, and how the education initiatives coming from GCC and kind of the wildlife aspects of it and the native restoration project. So it was a great event talking about different aspects of grassland and connecting the dots, you know, weaving that whole event into a storytelling event, and to get kind of students getting more involved and engaged.
And I think that's really important too, because I know that, Mike, we've talked a lot about grasslands on the show with you, and a lot of the time, you know, even though you kind of say, okay, grasslands, you know, that we have a lot of that here. I don't know that people really realize how significant protecting those grasslands really is, right?
Yeah, well, within your listening area, you know, I've spent some time up in Churn Creek, which is the other side of the Fraser, and many other locations within the interior, and those grasslands are vital. There are a lot of them. You see a lot of them driving along the highways and up along the river, but there's less than 1% of BC, as I've said many times. But those ecosystems provide a lot of services to the province. And Rabea did a fantastic job of putting together that conference in less than a month.
That's
and
amazing.
We had a lot of students. We had professors. We had the general public. It was a good event.
What do you think that they took away from that event, Rabea? I mean, it was educational, of course, but what was sort of the goal from your perspective?
You know, as coming from an environment science background, I do think that grasslands, especially focused on BC's grassland, are the most overlooked ecosystem. Yet they support a long, like expanded amount of biodiversity, and incredible that is. And it's kind of important to disseminate and kind of spread the knowledge around BC's grasslands. And when we talk about grasslands, well, there's a lot to learn about it. And then kind of that having like a conversation and inclusive learning space with the students and engaging the practitioners and industrialists and kind of those, you know, individuals who are working hands-on in the field. It's really important to have this kind of conversation together and like having able to have an open discussion, asking questions about grasslands and what kind of coming from GCC we're looking forward to having in the future, and more engagement with community members and students too. So it was a great event, and moving forward we do want to expand the public awareness and the storytelling around the BC's grasslands.
Do you have particular plans for the expansion, or what do you hope? Where do you see grasslands going?
Moving forward, we do want to expand the public awareness through events, media, and obviously digital platforms, because that's the way that you can have maximum outreach to students, obviously, and also the community members, and having kind of, we're not talking about, you know, heavily data-based scientific information here, just kind of basic information around grasslands and conservation and the biodiversity it supports, right? So it could be from different social media platforms, it could be from different YouTube videos, and it could be from our website. And we are planning to have a photo contest coming up 2025, 2026, and we will have a different Google form for that, so that people can submit their grassland photos or pictures, and then that's another way for people to be engaged and to feel more connected and to talk about grasslands and to have like conservation initiatives in mind coming, you know, moving forward. And we are also talking about having a webinar session. Maybe we will have like 5 to 6 guest speakers who have like hands-on experience in the field, and then we kind of have to talk about how we are working towards grassland conservation. So those kind of stuff we are still in the beginner phase that we are talking about, but those kind of things we are planning.
That's a great idea. Yeah, and you mentioned the word engage, right? I think that's the
Yeah.
goal. Mike, fundraising is a big part of what you guys do. I know there's a fundraiser coming up, right?
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
No, to support our efforts, we don't get a lot of government money. People say, how does the GCC get its funds? A few years ago, we started our Loving the Grasslands fundraiser. So this is year 4. And this year we're moving up to Thompson Rivers Universities for a bit bigger venue, and so we're looking forward to that. It's February 5th, and we get all sorts of people coming out, and we do have amazing auction items there. We have live auction, silent auction, and plus we have an online auction that we do at the same time. And we have support from some places you can go and do stays, Echo Valley Ranch, Sundance Guest Ranch in Ashcroft, and Douglas Lake is also donating a cabin for us to auction off this year, and a couple other private places. So we've got some really good auction prizes coming up.
Okay, and then members are always welcome, right, to
Yes.
the GCC? Okay,
Yeah,
membership, is open always? Is that kind of how it works?
We do have membership, and it expires at the end of the year, and so people can renew now for next year or into next year. It's only $35 a year, or $100 for 4 years, and we do have a lifetime membership. But the other thing we brought in this year is a $10 student membership, $10 for 3 years.
Wow.
So basically, you can pay your membership and be a member of the GCC for your time as a student. So,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate your time, you guys. Thank you for joining us, bringing us all the information. There's more information on the screen right there. We're back in just a moment.